Hey guys, Whyhead Apple here, and this is This Week in Android. So this week, a bunch of stuff has been happening in the Android / fuck you Apple world. That's why I'm going to be rolling a few of my segments into one. First up is Update. So this video is going to be a little bit longer because of that. So this is updating on the HTC Apple lawsuit. So HTC has finally decided to release an official statement regarding the lawsuit. And yes, I know they already had released one, but this statement didn't leave us wanting more. So in recognition of this, I will do a visual representation of the lawsuit up to this point. Enjoy. So basically, first, there was HTC. This is HTC. HTC is a phone company, and they were just minding their own business, making money and phones for Google. Right there. See, they're good friends. Hello, hello. Yeah. And then one day, HTC's just minding its own damn business, and here comes Apple. Apple. And Apple's like, no, screw you guys. We don't, in this world, we can just sit by and let people steal our inventions, or we can do something about it, and we're gonna do something about it. They're evil, that's why I said that. And so they sued HTC for over 20 patents. A bunch of these patents are bullshit. And you can check out my other video to see why. So HTC was like, what? Oh no, what do we do? And then Google comes along and is like, hey bitch, don't be evil. And Apple's like, I hate freedom and not being evil. And Google released a statement saying, hey, we back up our good buddy HTC here. Even though Google wasn't officially named in the lawsuit. So Google's like, yeah, we back this up, which they basically were like, yeah, we know it's about us and not about HTC. So today, or a little while ago, this week, HTC finally released something to Apple and was like, look Apple, this is what they said. HTC disagrees with Apple's actions and will fully defend itself. So instead of it being a closed door, like, here's some money, now leave us alone thing, and Apple goes off being a dick, now HTC is fully prepared to make this the lawsuit of the century which we've been waiting for. And you know why? And you know what's going to be good? Because they got our little buddy Google here to back them up. And the rest of the press release can basically be summed up in one word. First, basically HTC just said we did everything first. So I'll post a link to the entire press release in the sidebar. So and subscribe for more updates on this topic. Sorry about that. That went on a little bit longer than I thought it would. So just bear with me. Now we're going to get to the Android news. So now for the latest in Android news. So this week has been huge for Android running products. The news either being announcements or rumors. So let's get this baby started. So I'll start with something that is dear to my heart. I'll start with something Droid related. It seems that the HTC Sense user interface has finally been ported to the Droid. But since this version is buggy and as buggy as fucking hell, I'm not going to post a no effing link in the sidebar. If you're really curious, just Google it. Now for a very exciting Android rumor. Something called the HTC A2929 has appeared on Sprint's internal inventory. And could this be the HTC Supersonic? And you know what? With a 4.3-inch AMOLED 1.0 GHz Snapdragon powered amazingness, and it's running on Sprint's 4G network, which they've been advertising the shit out of. I really hope it is. I really do, because it looks fucking sick. So a video has surfaced this week of a hands-on demo with the HTC Legend, which will be on Verizon. This phone looks pretty cool. The specs are almost the same as the Nexus 1, but it has an 8-megapixel camera with autofocus, an optical trackball, and a 1 GHz Snapdragon processor, which is underclocked to 768. So people will obviously root it and then overclock it. The link to the video is in that floating sidebar. So now for some official Android announcements. These are the things that are definite. So Sprint and Motorola have announced the Motorola i1, which will be launched at CTIA Wireless 2010 this week. It's the first Android device to feature push-to-talk on Sprint's Nextel Direct Connect network. It has a 3.1-inch HVGA touchscreen, 5-megapixel camera with flash, and a micro SD card slot. Motorola has also preloaded Opera Mobile Mini and Swipe. The most interesting thing to me, though, would be that the phone is rugged and capable of withstanding dust, shock, vibration, and blowing rain, all to military specifications. Now then, guys, this is the coolest announcement in Android phone news, and this is the Dell Aero on AT&T. They're claiming it is the lightest Android smartphone, but that really isn't why I find this thing so freaking cool. First, it supports flashlight, but secondly, Dell has tricked this UI out. I'm not even exaggerating when I say that the modded UI is so gorgeous, it seriously puts HTC's saliving, it's not a word, whatever, saliving in a corner. But you guys know how AT&T is. So the phone is most likely to be put on 1.5, so let's just pray 2.1 is the Android it gets. Now, here we go, guys. Ready for the final Android news, and it's an iPad killer. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not even kidding. It's called the WePad, and before you make fun of the name's actually making fun of Apple, and it's a good damn thing too. Here we go, here are the specs. It has an 11.6 inch screen compared to the Apple iPad's 11 inch screen. A 1.66 gigahertz processor compared to Apple's 1 gigahertz processor. It's a front-facing camera compared to Apple's lack of anything relating to that. It has 2 USB ports, 1 SIM slot, a micro SD slot. It supports Flash and Adobe Air, which of course, you know what? iPad doesn't because Steve Jobs a fucker. And the ability to use all, and I mean all, open ebook standards. Compared to iPads, you can only use the iPad iMarket, I call it the iMarket standard. So, and no, it gets better. Not only will it have access to the Wii Market, which supports Adobe Air, and if you guys have not already checked this out, Adobe Air is actually some pretty cool apps that you can install onto your PC, and it's all supported by Adobe Air. It's pretty sick. So you can install it on the WePad, but it also has access to the Android market. So you know what, iPad? Beat that crap. So I know this video is getting a little bit long, so I'm just going to say this. If you only wanted to check up on the news and not my opinion, then you can just stop now. But please, I'm serious, subscribe if you want to get more of these latest news. Because every week I will be doing an update. But now I'm going to do my on segment. And this is where I talk about something which is my opinion, and which it involves Apple and the Android market. So there's been all this fuss about the iPhone 4.0 OS and about how, it's going to get up, what's it going to have, multitasking, it's going to this and that. And I'm going to address the multitasking. Fuck no, it's not going to have multitasking, and I can say one reason why. Because fucking Steve Jobs is too prideful to do that. You know why? Because he's not going to risk have people saying, you know what, oh look, they're just copying Android and BlackBerry and the Palm Pre and about every other fucking phone that has done it before this. He's not going to let that happen. And another reason is because Google was going to sue the fuck out of them if they do that. Because they sued HTC, so you know what? And this is like, it's just never going to happen. And so if you don't get your panty in a bunch, iPhone 4.0 lovers. And like I said, the reason why it's never going to get it is because it'd be too much like copying Android. And there's no better way to implement multitasking than what Android has done. With the status bar, with everything. And the way it's done it is very good. And the way the Palm has done it is pretty damn good. And Apple needs to be innovative. And the only way for it to be innovative is to make some shitty multitasking thing. And you know what, Apple? If you can prove me wrong, then you're still a dick, but I will respect you just a little bit. So that's on. And if you're still watching, thank you. I know the video is long, I'm sorry, but this has been a long week, a big week for Android. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and subscribe if you want more updates, and yeah, so I'm Why I Had Apple, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I'll keep you guys updated whenever something good happens.